The starting lineup. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning, and welcome into the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham in studio, as we are each and every Thursday, for a Therapy Thursday here on the starting lineup. And the one who will ensure that you get out of here, get off the couch, I wouldn't say necessarily feeling better, feeling something, is Chewy. He's our resident therapist. Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Chew.
Dr. Chew. That's kind of cool. Good morning.
Dr. C.
What's ailing you, white boy?
So I've got this coworker. It is a Therapy Thursday, and yes, we may be barely functioning ourselves, but we are full of opinions, and we can help you. So I encourage you to get into the Facebook feed this morning. You can go to ESPN Winchester's Facebook page, pull up the FMO Facebook feed, and jump into the chat there.
My assistant's already here. Brett Crabtree has jumped in saying, "Don't worry, everyone. I am here. Don't panic."
Good morning, Brett. Brett is in the chat. You know what I need to do? Because I was just pulling up my computer a second ago and saw that I had an alert from the stream thing that said that it was down. It went down at 3:13 this morning.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I don't know if it ever came back up. I got to go in after this first break. We got to go in there and check and see if it ever came back up. So if the app is not working, that might be why. I just realized that. But we'll check on it. So it is a Therapy Thursday. Also at 7:40 this morning, we will go out to the Oasis for trivia, like we do each and every Thursday as well. Catch up with Scotty, see what he's up to. We should have Mayor Sean Crabtree in this morning as well. But Chewy, I want to get Therapy Thursday kicked off with something. I need some therapy over the last 2 days after reading some of the Facebook comments. And it's not just on our stuff. It's on a lot of stuff in Franklin County. And it's weird. Every community has their issues. Ours, for some reason, seems to revolve around negativity targeting our own people, our own county. And I need therapy with this early on. And I want to get your thoughts. So what's wild to me is we talked to Sammy D about the situation at Deckard Elementary this week. And what's wild to me about the whole situation is not the investigation. We had the law enforcement officer in. He spoke about them doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They took it seriously. They have spent hours and hours this week communicating with each other, digging into if there's something deeper. And what I go back to as well in situations like this is that, what Sammy D said yesterday is sometimes there's not anything to report, and other times as they're investigating, there's a reason why they don't report certain things. But watching the Facebook comment section across Facebook, you had posts that would come up, and then you had posts directly from the Franklin County Sheriff's Department. We posted something. And you read those comments, and you would think that Franklin County, the school district, and the sheriff's department was hiding some kind of like massive conspiracy. You have people in the comments accusing the school of purposefully being hush-hush about something revolving around the kids' safety. You have people in the comment section literally acting as if nobody cares about their child's safety. You have people in the comments section demanding answers before the investigation was even finished, or answers that there aren't necessarily answers to. And sometimes the best answer that the sheriff's department can give is, yeah, this is a random note, probably written by a random kid who thought it was funny, who through, I don't know, forensic evidence, they brought a CSI team in to try and figure out which kid in the school. We're going to fingerprint all the kids, figure out which kid wrote this thing. Who wrote it? It doesn't matter necessarily who wrote. They're not going to be able to figure that out, A. But B, this is all just my opinion, but B, you know how kids are. Oh, this will be funny. Yeah, let's leave this. Yeah. Cause taxpayers hours and hours of dollars and money. But B, there is no answer. And you've got parents acting as if we're going to track down the kid who wrote this, throw him in the clink, throw away the key. And sometimes the best thing that the school and the sheriff's department can do is be on high alert in situations like that. And you can get upset. I have kids in school. I have tons of kids in school, in different schools. You can be upset and you can be concerned for their safety, which you should be at all times. Because I'll tell you what, it's not the days that there's a warning that there's going to be some sort of incident at the school. It's the days that you don't expect any. It's the days that you expect are normal days. That's when something could happen. Probably will happen. But what people they don't want information, really. They just want something to be mad about. And they go on social media and they start blasting the police department. They start blasting the guys at work. They start blasting the school for their behavior or the lack of transparency or the lack of information that they received. As if there is some big conspiracy going on. What do you think the school district is hiding? What do you think the sheriff's department is hiding? What do you really think that the conspiracy is here? And all you're doing is making a unfortunate and bad and gross situation that they're having to work through even more of a pain and putting more stress and more anxiety on people that are trying to do their jobs. And you've got principals and teachers who are in that school who are 24/7 worried about keeping your kids safe and teaching them, educating them. And we've got parents in this community that continue to go after them as if they're hiding something. Stop! Like, why? What is the disease that is in this county sometimes that when something pops up on Facebook, social media has to turn every situation into a panic, into a... You know what I miss is the days prior to everybody carrying around a cell phone and there being social media, Chewy.
Yeah.
Where idiots could be idiots in their own home. They could panic and have these things go on or you could have these conversations in their own home. Not every thought needs to be typed out with your thumbs and posted to Facebook. People want to jump on Facebook and immediately just broadcast worst-case scenarios to the entire county before anybody knows anything. Like Susie or Jennifer or Gary on social media is I'm going to hold the sheriff's department accountable, and I'm going to make sure that my kid is safe. Meanwhile, you have literally tons of people working around the clock, and you took the time to type out a paragraph or two on Facebook, and you think that you're more of an expert on keeping the kids in the school safe than they are, when they are literally at the forefront of student safety, not just in Franklin County, not just in the state of Tennessee, but in the country. And the sheriff, Tim Fuller, and the staff, and the SROs, and the teachers, are there bad situations? Yes. Are there situations where kids do stupid things? Yes. When I was like 12 years old, my parents got a call because I was walking home from school and thought it would be funny to pick up a rock and chuck it at a school bus to see if I could hit it because it was so far down the street. And I was walking down the street with my friends, and it got all the way down to the other end of the street, and I was like, I bet I could hit it from here with a rock. And they're like, no, you can't. I'm like, I bet you I can. Have you seen his cannon arm? Sure enough, I did hit it. It was probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
Kids do stupid things. And when you put that many of them in a school together, sometimes those stupid things get magnified because they encourage. Have you seen a room of guys get together? Put 5 guys in a room together. Watch how long it takes for somebody to do something stupid.
Yeah.
Put Chewy and I in a room together.
Look at this place.
Literally every morning we do something stupid.
Here's what I'll say with this. It's probably not just our county. It's probably everywhere. I would assume anyone who has the internet, and when you've got kids involved, I think passion will sometimes blind your logic easily, and that can transform into anger very quickly, which can, mutate your message a little bit, you know? And so I'm not all the time, I'm not excusing it, but I'm also not very surprised,
So I think that you're right. I think that it's not just our community. It just seems to be in everything that we do. We can post about positive things, and there are people who pop up with the negative. And I guess my position is creating fear, creating more rumors, creating unnecessary chaos. That's the stuff that frustrates me.
Oh, it's making it worse.
Right. Concern is normal. Asking questions is fair. But immediately assuming that the school, the sheriff's department, and everybody involved is either incompetent or willfully hiding something, for you to go right to that, that's not protecting kids. That is fueling panic.
Sammy D yesterday literally said, after the note came out, he said that they were not going to go to bed until they were 100% sure that this was not a significant threat. And they did. They spent, like he was talking about it, and they even have officers up there now, So,
and sometimes the best thing for adults to do is be adults.
Yeah.
Take a breath. As part of teaching your kids how to respond to tough situations too, is I'm not going to show my kid that the first thing you do is panic and jump on social media and start attacking other people, and let the professionals do their job before you turn your Facebook page into the Franklin County panic hotline. Goodness gracious. All right. So that's just the start of Therapy Thursday.
Okay.
As far as the county is concerned, if you've got anything in and around the county that you want to get therapy for, feel free to drop it in the chat. But the city is where we'll start when we come back, as Mayor Sean Crabtree of the city of Winchester is in studio with us. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
For over 75 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. Hall Furniture has been there through it all. 3 generations, decades of trust, and the commitment to quality, value, and service that still comes first today. As we celebrate over 75 years in business, we want to say thank you to our loyal customers, our community, and to everyone who has made Hall Furniture a Winchester tradition. Hall Furniture. Here's to another 75 years of helping you make a house feel like home.
At Watson Funeral Home in Memorial Park, we understand that every family and every life is unique. Located at 405 Sharp Springs Road in Winchester, our caring, experienced family is here to honor your traditions with compassion, professionalism, and respect. We're committed to helping you create a personalized farewell that reflects the values and memories that mattered most. Visit watsonfhtn.com to learn more. Watson Funeral Home and Memorial Park, guiding families with care every step of the way. A part of the Kortner family of funeral services.
Waking up to some very cool temperatures this morning in the high 40s and early 50s, and it's going to stay that way and stay cloudy, but gradually clearing up in the afternoon with a high of only 54 degrees. Got some northwest winds coming in from 5 to 10 miles per hour with some gusts as high as 30. Grab your jacket and stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
Are you struggling to get real impact from your marketing dollars? That's because most local advertising is sold short-term with no strategy behind it. At ESPN Radio Winchester, we don't just run ads, we build marketing plans. We focus on consistency and alignment across platforms and long-term visibility that keeps working even when your ad isn't playing. Because marketing isn't a project, it's a system. Start building your brand with ESPN Radio, 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Tune into the starting lineup on the FMO Facebook feed. Just go to Facebook.com/ESPN Winchester. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here in studio on a Therapy Thursday. It is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy, and in studio with us now is Winchester City Mayor Sean Crabtree. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, man, I'm great. I think
You stuffed
guys
up?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that time of year. You know, I think the 80 degrees down to 40. I don't know. There's something
man.
that it does to me. You know what I mean?
Our high today is only going to be like 50-something.
Oh,
like
my
54.
gosh. Listen, they're calling for snow Monday.
Yeah. It's gonna. The high's only
come
going to be in
on.
the 40s.
Jeez.
Can you believe it?
We knew it was
Tennessee
coming.
weather.
We knew it was coming.
You guys are on to something here on Therapy Thursday.
Therapy Thursday. Well,
Yeah, I think there's a natural sort of whatever. I don't know. I heard you guys talking about this in the wind. I don't know if it's just Franklin County though. I think
No.
Yeah. I think it's across the board. I mean, sometimes things are just what they are, and there's not a conspiracy, and there's not a, it's just like I think the whole concept of the keyboard versus face to face. I think it brings out the ultra drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Well, speaking of drama,
Yeah.
sometimes, and I 100% meant to be at the.
I know you did.
The meeting
and it
on
didn't
Tuesday.
happen. You know what I was thinking? It was kind of like that triathlon, Chewy. Remember that?
it was kinda
He was
like
going
that.
to be at the
Little-
triathlon.
little
You know
and
what?
figured.
And then something
I was
happened.
at the Board of Education meeting on Monday, and I don't know what happened on Tuesday. Oh, I do know what happened on Tuesday. I have an excuse. I'll tell you off air. Tuesday, I was not in my right mind.
Oh.
Tuesday,
okay. You know what? He's right.
I do have an excuse.
So it's a
would-
valid
Yes,
excuse,
yes.
Chewy.
Actually, you know what? In hindsight, yes, 100%. I agree.
But-
So Dr. C gave him an excuse.
I'll write him a note.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. I got a doctor's note. No, but because of that, because of me missing that meeting, because I got the agenda, you and I had a conversation regarding the agenda and all the things, I wanted to follow up with you on a few things. First and foremost, let's start with and I don't know if you know this, but the Bassmaster Classic is going on in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I know.
This upcoming, or this weekend. So first and foremost,
Now, does that starts tomorrow, right? I think.
Officially, dude, I don't even know. Now you put me on the spot. I haven't. Again, this week has been kind of crazy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure that they're already out there practicing. My father left for it on Tuesday at like noon.
What? He's all fired up.
They're all out there already, and I'm sure they've been on the water. But officially, it may start today. It may start this morning. I don't know. Okay, so hold on. As far as the boat ramp goes, so there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, the water's up too high already, and how are they going to do this, that, and the other thing?" My father was even like, "I don't. What are they going to do? It's up past the water line." And you explained to me, and what I've discovered is, so the way that the quote-unquote technology is on this thing, and you're going to get a kick out of this.
Oh, yeah.
So they lay the slabs down. Wait,
This is cool, Chewy.
wait for these, and the slabs are on like a rock surface. They wait for these giant slabs of concrete to cure. And then once the slab of concrete cures, they then get a couple of bulldozers on either end of the concrete and shove the concrete down the ramp to the bottom, as like basically like as far as they decide that they want to go. And so the concrete being above the water as it is right now, and as it was when they set it, is not its final resting place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Very fascinating.
And if you listen, have you guys like looked at it online?
Oh, yeah.
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 Have you seen it this morning or yesterday?
I haven't seen it this morning.
So as I came by this morning, there's 4 dozers down there, 4 bulldozers. There's like a couple of excavators and maybe some bobcats or whatever. When I popped in yesterday morning, of course the engineers are on site as all this is being done.
Right.
And as I popped in yesterday morning, or maybe yesterday afternoon, there was an excavator. Literally, Chewy, this thing was in the water up to the cab. So the what do you call it? The treads or whatever.
Yeah.
They were down under the water and they're scooping, in the water. So
wow.
Yeah, I mean, if your listeners are excited about this, and it's historic, guys. I mean, it really is. Stuff like this only happens once in a great while. You ought to jump on Winchester-TN.com and click on live cam and give it click on it, and then it'll go to the cam, and it may take 3 or 4 minutes to upload to whatever it's called. You guys know that buffer. There you go. And yeah, you can watch it. And my understanding is that the actual slide that you're talking about may happen today. So
Ooh.
I'm really pumped about that. Yeah, and they're thinking, by April 1st, this part will be done. It's really, really cool. I'm super excited about it.
It is really cool, and it hopefully will quell a lot of the panic, because there have been people out there. Are they going to be able to get this thing done in time? Obviously, that's still a question. You've got the Tim's Ford Bass Classic, which is one of the biggest bass fishing tournaments like anywhere, coming up, and I know that they're concerned about it getting done in time and stuff. The Bass Club is, but as far as the work and how rapid it's happened since they got the green light on it, they're doing a great job with it, and they're going to give it their best shot for sure.
I think it's going to happen. I mean, I talked to the head engineer yesterday, and they're
still expecting.
They're not seeing a problem.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, it's like they're already pretty experienced doing this. We're like, are we the last? Or
we are the last.
Yeah. So
we are the last one. They've been through this more than once.
Yeah.
So they've gone through all the hiccups and the hurdles, and I'm sure. So it's actually I'm glad. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm glad we're the last.
Well, all that being said,
so you were about to lead into the agenda.
Well, I wanted to start with the positive news first. See, I wasn't at the meeting the other day, so I don't know if it's positive or not. But talk a little bit about what went on the other day, what was brought up, and what maybe citizens should be considered. Because there were a couple of things on the agenda that you and I talked about, and you mentioned to me that we have a city engineer, and so some things are being updated, and some of those things, when you look at the agenda, it can look more intense or more scary than it really is, but it could just be, hey, we got to update this because there's some language in here that hasn't been changed since the 50s or 60s or whatever it is.
No, that's really true. Yeah, and we've never had a city engineer. And so have somebody that can update all that, and that's exactly what happened. There's actually things on a regular basis that are being updated, almost every meeting.
Every time around.
Yeah, and this last meeting, Tuesday night, there were a couple things about off-street parking that were just really ancient verbiage, and times were different, and so that all was updated. And then there was some old languaging. There was some old languaging in some ordinances from way back on commercial parking lots that required way too much parking and so forth, and so that's all been updated. And then and that was on the agenda. And then I think one of the big things that I don't know if it was a big thing, but there was a citizen who brought to the council. He wanted to see the city of Winchester has an old fire truck. I think don't quote me on this, but I believe it's from 1926. I could be wrong. 26, 29, something like that. Which is pretty cool, right? That we have that, and I think in 2018 or 2019, before I was involved, the city built a new fire hall,
right,
to the tune of I think almost $3 million. And one of the things that made this fire hall cool is they wanted a special place for that fire truck, and so the whole front area was really designed around that old fire truck.
Right.
And all the stuff, over the years that the fire department had collected a whole lot of, old memorabilia, and it was just stacked here and there, and they didn't have anything to do with it. They wanted to highlight it, and so that whole front area. And by the way, if you're a listener and you've not checked that out, or if you're a teacher and you want your kids to see some cool stuff, go to Fire Hall number 1, which is right here on the Cowan Highway.
Yeah.
And that whole front area, again,
it's like a museum.
It is a museum. That's exactly what it is. And so anyway, just to make a long story short, there was someone who said, we should bring the fire truck back to the square in that little old building. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that little building was falling apart, dilapidating, and it was there's a lot of mold in it. It's really falling apart. And so years ago, that was one of the things they wanted to do. The fire truck was going to go away because the elements inside the building were not protecting the fire truck.
Right.
And it was just going to go away. And so anyway, the council, in its wisdom, I think did the right thing. To bring that fire truck back was going to cost the taxpayers a ridiculous amount of money, which that money had already been spent years ago creating that.
Right, that was the purpose
creating
of
that
it,
museum, yeah. And so there was a lot of passion on either side of this issue. The fire department, of course, they have a lot of reverence, and I have a lot of respect for their reverence for that fire truck. And the fact that it's in the fire hall, and when kids come and see it, they get to touch it. It's the air is conditioned, so the fire truck is protected. They got all that cool stuff, and because it's right there at the fire hall, then the firemen can tell the old stories and show the pictures and talk about the equipment, and it makes it a unique experience. Whereas if you spend taxpayer dollars on a brand new building somewhere else, it would be away from the fire hall, it'd be away from the fire department, and so you lose the ability to have those stories be told by the folks who are actually so reverent on that thing.
Well,
am I making any sense?
Yeah. So
I feel like I'm talking inside a garbage can.
No, you got it.
So it seems like, from what it sounds like, as you talk about this, it seems like there was a desire to bring. Where would we have put it? Because you said that building is dilapidated. I'm guessing that there's probably plans to deconstruct it or remove it. It's just kind of sitting empty at this point in time, which means, and you just said, build a new spot for it or put it in maybe something else that's being built or whatever the case. Where was the desire to put it? Was there a plan as to where to put it, or do they just this individual wanted to put it downtown because they thought that it would drive like traffic or tourism or fanfare for the fire truck?
I think that was the that was the thought. I think that was the thought. There wasn't a lot of research done, but yeah, I mean, I think that individual wanted it to be downtown and wanted the building to be rebuilt. But yeah, the city has spent a lot of money. I don't know if you guys know this, but on engineering to bring the city hall into ADA compliance.
Right.
And part of that was removing that old dilapidated building, which is where the so to make a long story short, right there where the old fire hall was, that's all on one level, right?
Yeah.
And so that would make it the citizen-facing stuff. You know, you pay your taxes and whatever. That would make that ground level, which would make it a lot more accessible to folks with handicaps. So the citizen parking and handicap parking would essentially be where the current situation is with that building, and so we're literally down to the day that we're supposed to get bids on what all of that might cost, which meant, if the council had voted to bring that fire truck back, then all of that engineering that's dollars that had been spent
Right.
would go out the window, and the whole concept of bidding what the renovations would look, that would all be halted and
Right.
have to be redone. So you're not just talking about the cost of building a building. You're talking about the cost of dollars that's already been spent for the current fire hall with that museum in the front, and you're talking about having to redo dollars that were spent on engineering to bring the courthouse, not the courthouse, the city hall into ADA compliance.
Well, and not for nothing, but when we're talking about space downtown,
there's not a lot of
yeah, it's not like so just sticking a big old truck right in the middle of wherever we decide to put it. I don't understand. I don't necessarily understand the idea. I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around. But so they did vote it down, or didn't vote on it, or it just kind of went away, or
it came down to one of the council members abstained on the vote. And by the way, there was a lot of passion here. The police chief gave, on behalf of the fire department, a really passionate plea for the council not to do this, and there were a couple of council members who supported it. There were a couple who did not support it, and one of the council members abstained. And so when there's a tie, then ultimately it comes down to the mayor, and so I voted against it.
Okay. Well,
There you go.
I appreciate it, because I don't know enough about what the reasoning was to propose this thing, and why
and
there would be.
just to go 30 seconds on this,
Yeah.
right? I think that and I think there's probably some validity to this, right? This person's point was, hey, we've got an old fire truck, and not everybody has an old fire truck. Now, I didn't realize this, but the fire chief actually did the research, and so it turns out that Manchester has the sister truck to this.
Oh.
And also, I think Fayetteville has a one that's just a three years newer or whatever. So I didn't realize it, but there are a lot out there. But I think this individual's point was, hey, if we had a cool old fire truck downtown, it would enhance, what's going on downtown. And I see the validity in that, but I think at the end of the day, it came down to just dollars and cents, right?
Right.
I mean, you're spending so much money already that's already been spent.
Right.
One of the council members made a great point. He said, whenever this was 2018 or 2019 that they built the new fire hall over there, that was agonized and scrutinized by the council at the time. And so to go back and redo and respend taxpayer dollars, that's
Right.
a pretty big ask.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's not like, come on. It's cool, but it's not like it's the General Lee. Like if we had a General Lee, we put the General Lee down.
General Lee.
And if we really want to pull in tourism to downtown, I keep going back to, if we stick a bronze statue of Chewie up downtown,
Well,
that will draw people in.
that would be that's there's nothing to compare to that.
Multiple people would have been both fired and arrested for allowing it.
Yes.
That's a violation of public decency. The feds show up and be like, no.
I totally got sucked into that post that you put up the other day where you were in Jefferson's and you were like, look, I ran into a celebrity.
Nobody knew who it was.
Chewy.
It blew up. Everybody, like, we had people in Tullahoma were like, "Who is this guy?" What?
It was like shared in like the Tullahoma and Grundy County groups, and people were like, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
It's like, which booth is it? You know?
Well, only the cool people actually knew.
Yeah.
What a celebrity!
People
you are,
asking
Chewy.
if it was Jerry Garcia's ghost or something like that. I don't even know. Anyway, all right. So now, as far as just to wrap up the fire truck thing, is that there a possibility that comes back up around? Is that something that we're gonna have to deal with in the future, or is that gone for now?
Well, I mean, I think anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know, anything's possible. And so yeah, there you go.
Well, good job by you. I appreciate the vote. I mean, you got. There's plenty of reasons why, either way, but I think that was the right decision.
Well,
on that
for
one.
me, it's dollars and cents.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have a responsibility to taxpayers to be great
Right.
stewards of their dollars.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree. Well, what else you guys got going on? Is there anything coming up? Anything else that you want to get out there before we got 4 minutes before we got Oasis trivia
before Scotty calls in.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the biggest things that we're dealing with all the time. We've had conversations before. What are you worried about? What keeps you up at night and all this kind of stuff? I think we are always trying to recruit for the city. Always. It doesn't matter what's going on with all these infrastructure projects that we have happening. Recruitment is always going on in the background. Always, 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 always. And there are other things that are always going on. The homeless situation. I'd love to know what your listeners think about that. When there's not an issue, there's not an issue, and when it is, it's a big issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is one of the things that concerns me when I turn on the national news and you see what's going on in Los Angeles or Portland or some of these other places. And we have it really nice down here. We have a great area. We have the lake, and we have a population of homeless folks that are coming in from. Most recently, I had a lot of dealings this last week with some folks who were complaining about their ability to enjoy their property because of the tent cities and some of the hoarding and all of this from some of the
I have
homeless.
noticed it a little bit more. Has there been an uptick in homeless?
It feels like
in
to
the
me
community?
it feels like to me that there is, and so
I don't even know if we track numbers from a city perspective, or
it's not one of those things that's tracked because, frankly, the city doesn't know about it until somebody complains.
Yeah.
And when somebody complains, and then you go, "Holy smoke!" You go
Yeah.
over here, and there's like a whole city, in the woods and
Yeah.
whatever. I think I think it's a bigger issue than what people realize. It's kind of like a rock quarry, right? Nobody really pays any attention to it until it's right next door,
Right.
and then it's a big issue. And so I don't know. I'd love to know what your listeners think about that. I believe that the homeless situation is a very, very complex. It's a little bit like, the school system. Why are we losing students? Well, there's probably not one reason, or two reasons, or three reasons. There's a bunch, and I feel like the homeless situation is the same thing. I'm not trying to solve that situation, but I am concerned about citizen safety. I am concerned about people maybe having their stuff stolen out of the back of their house, or the kids losing their bikes, and and all those sorts of things, or businesses, frankly, where citizens are afraid to go into a business because of that situation.
Well, I definitely think it's a conversation that needs to be had, and like you said, it's not something that can necessarily be solved, but there might be a strategy as far as managing it going forward that needs to start being talked about.
Well,
for sure.
I would love to know if this is as big of an issue for your listeners.
Okay.
Chewy's giving me the.
Y'all right? Yeah.
He's giving me the eye. It's time.
But,
Are you going to stick through trivia, or are you going to head out?
Yeah, I'm going to stay for a minute. That's
Sweet.
okay.
Yeah.
I always like to hear Scotty do his thing.
Yeah.
Well, while people are waiting on Scotty to jump in, Tell us in the FMO Facebook stream your opinions on that.
Yeah, get in on the FMO Facebook feed if you've got any thoughts on the homeless situation, the homeless issue at this point in time in the city.
Oasis Steakhouse.
Good morning, Scotty. How are you today?
Good morning. How are y'all?
I am tremendous. We got the mayor sitting in with us
Scotty.
this morning.
Good morning.
Chewy is here as well, and we're excited about trivia, for sure.
I am too. So,
Scotty, I don't
Right.
think I've gotten maybe one. I think I've maybe gotten one.
Scotty gives tough trivia, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Even
you
when he
got
tries.
extra power there with you today, having the mayor there.
He's not going to help us, Scotty.
No. I'm no help. Every time I think I know the answer, I'm always like schooled.
Yeah, if it's not like questions about city ordinances, he probably can't help us. No.
Road closure.
Oh gosh,
There you go. Scotty, what do you guys got going on this weekend over at the Oasis?
Well, tonight is trivia night. It starts at 6:30. Got it going on. Absolutely free to play. Doesn't cost you anything. You can come out, bring you a team. And, people ask about how big a team can be. You can have a one-person team up to as many as you like. We have sometimes people have 20, 22, 23 people on a team. So it's not just all about winning. A lot of it's just getting together with family and friends and playing trivia together. So you can bring them out. Tomorrow night we're going to have Sticky Kim Unplugged, which is their acoustic set. They're going to be here from 7:30 to 11 tomorrow night. Saturday night we're having our St. Patrick's Day party.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day's falling on a Tuesday, so nobody really likes to party on a Tuesday. So we're having ours on Saturday. We're going to have green beer flowing. We're going to have our fish and chips on special. We're going to have Allison McCormick Band going to be here. Allison's a local girl. She don't get out and perform a lot, but when she does, it's a treat, and she's going to be starting at 7:30 Saturday night.
Very cool.
So got a lot of stuff going on.
He's right about Tuesday, guys. Tuesday's like the least party day. I mean, I encourage you to get out there on Saturday night.
And we got a ton of giveaways. I've got my all types of stuff to give away. Got all types of swag. I got my liquor company's giving us a bunch of Irish St. Patty's Day T-shirts and all types of stuff to give away. So we're going to be giving that away all night Saturday night.
Awesome.
Well, I know where I'll find the mayor on Saturday night. That's for sure. All right, so trivia tonight, and if folks get the trivia question right here on the show, you can call in here just momentarily at 931-967-3500. And if they get the trivia question correct, Scotty, what do they win?
They can win a free lunch buffet that you can redeem either today or tomorrow. And, today's is the chicken and dressing day. We got chicken and dressing, meatballs and gravy with all the fixings. And we do our lunch buffet Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. And, tomorrow is fried catfish day. So.
Yeah, that's one of Katie's favorite days of the week, just because of the catfish over at the Oasis. Now, all of that being said as well, the answer for today's trivia question, you're going to want to keep it in mind, because if you go out and participate in trivia tonight over at the Oasis, this is going to be one of the questions that they ask. So you can basically walk in with at least get one right. Which
that's right.
is
that's
helpful.
Right.
That's
you
why
won't be completely stumped.
Right. That's why the mayor sticks around. Man, I love giving him a hard time. So as far as the trivia question, where are we going this morning, Scotty?
We're going to do a sports question this morning.
Okay. Maybe I have a shot.
I like it.
All right. We ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
All right. If you have not won the past 30 days, you can call in to win a free lunch buffet. And this is to Brett, since he won last week. So
yes.
So he can't call in to win today, right?
No, he's locked out. Unfortunately, he'll still probably call, but he's locked out of winning.
All right. You ready?
Go for it.
In NFL history, who was the tallest quarterback?
The tallest quarterback in NFL history.
Everybody's looking at me.
Yeah, because you should know this.
That's a good
the
question.
tallest quarterback in NFL history.
That phone number is at 931-967-3500 if you have the answer.
Chewy could see that I was thinking about the quarterback rather than making sure that we did the show. Tallest quarterback in NFL history. That is a tremendous question. Let me ask you this, Scotty. Is it somebody obscure that the only thing that they're famous for is being the tallest quarterback, or is it somebody that is
like a superstar that just happened to be tall?
Yeah, just somebody that's a good quarterback.
I think he just happened to be tall.
Okay. All right, we got our first caller.
All right, let's see what the guess is. Caller, what's your guess?
Is it Brock Osweiler?
Is it?
No, that's not it.
Nope, not Brock Osweiler. He was pretty tall.
All right, caller, go ahead.
I think he's in the top 3.
Is it Dan McGuire?
That's correct.
Wow.
Wow. Good pull. Caller, what's your name? Caller, what's your name? You got it correct.
Oh, Joanne Hoback.
Joanne, you are this week's
You're a winner.
Winner. You can redeem. When can she redeem her lunch buffet? Today or tomorrow?
Today or tomorrow.
Over at the Oasis.
Thank you.
They've got your name.
Congratulations.
Okay, hold on a second. Do you know who Dan McGuire played for?
I do, Seattle.
Seattle.
He got drafted. Do you know who he is?
I don't know Dan McGuire.
His brother is Mark McGuire.
Oh, I know.
Big
Mark.
Mac.
I know
Big
Mark.
Mac.
Even I know who that is.
I think he got drafted in 1991 is what it said, to Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going to have to do some research on this guy.
Now, Scotty, do you happen to know, was he on the juice like Big Mac?
I don't know, probably.
You know,
how
Mac
he
was
got
on
that
the
tall.
juice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Him and Jose Canseco, right?
I think that's right.
6'8". Good
6'8".
gracious.
Could you imagine? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you got no problem seeing over the line,
Yeah.
you know, at 6'8".
All right. Well, good stuff, Scotty.
Well, good. I think we finally stumped you on a sports question.
Yeah. Now I'm actually like in the process of Googling guys who I knew were tall just to see how tall they were comparatively.
How tall was Joe Namath?
I don't.
He was tall. He wasn't 6'8".
No, I think he was just tall for his time.
But you know, when you think about him on the sideline,
Yeah.
Scotty with his fur, he always looked tall.
Yeah.
Osweiler was only he was 6'7".
But that'll also
Yeah,
be
I
the
think
last.
he was in the top 3.
Yeah.
But that'll be the last question also today at trivia if people are interested.
Oh,
That's right.
nice. All right.
All right, guys.
Good
Scotty,
job by you,
thanks.
brother.
Well, thank y'all. Have a great day.
You too.
Guys,
All right, bye.
guys, thanks for letting me play with you this morning. Hope y'all have a great day.
Yeah, dude.
Chewy, I'm always glad to see you.
Always glad to see you, my friend.
So before you head out, Miss Sherry said not everyone that is homeless is on drugs or a bad person. Some are homeless due to their being priced out of their homes, extremely
agree.
high rent. Rent has
100%.
tripled since 2020. Some places rent is over $2,000 a month. You're expected to have your first and last month and a deposit plus 3 times income for that. Some have lost a job or been displaced due to fire or bad living situation. I hate anyone is homeless. Wish there was an easy solution, but there isn't one that fixes all. Yeah.
She makes great points,
Yeah.
and I agree with all those things. You know, again, my concern is just for the safety of the citizens and the ability of people to feel safe and comfortable to walk in and out of businesses and support the local businesses and all of that.
Well,
Hey, by the way, I do want to throw this in before
Yeah.
I go. And did I interrupt you?
No, I was just going to say, and it goes both ways, too. You know, one of the things that you can run into, and you mentioned, but, you know, there's a level of desperation at times that comes. And if you have someone walk onto someone else's property and see something left out in the open and, you know, maybe they go and they think that they can make a little bit of money off of it or whatever the case is, and there's conflict that can arise, and it's a safety situation, sometimes not just for the individual who is the homeowner or the business owner or the people walking downtown, but also for the homeless individual themselves.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. So just trying to figure out ways, and then too, you talk about how cold it can get at times. We have warming shelters and other things like that. But I think just all the way around, coming up with a way to manage the situation as a whole is maybe what you're talking about. But anyway, sorry.
No, those are really good points. Hey, I just wanted to say, Scotty was ribbing me about the road closures. Listen, have you guys been on Bible Crossing the last day or two?
I have.
Have you seen that cool new paving job with the nice bright stripes?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited about that. There was a lot of issues that the contractors ran into, not the least of which is having to run that sewer line out in the middle of the road all of that way, and they didn't count on that, and we didn't count on that, and that wasn't part of the deal. But and so the paving was an issue, and I think I've been on the radio saying, guys, we may have to live with this for a little while because we have a lot of roads in the city that need to be paved. But they were able to work it out, and thanks to Beth Roten, who is just a superstar. She got with the contractors. They made it all happen, and so now we got a really nice road. I think it's better than it was before they cut it. It looks great. Yeah,
well, good stuff. Good job by her. As per usual, Miss Beth coming through.
She's fantastic. Yeah.
All right, brother.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all letting me hang out with you.
Yeah, of course. It is Mayor of the City of Winchester, Sean Crabtree, popping in as he does each and every Thursday. It's a Therapy Thursday. We're going to hit the break and be back on the other side with more. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
Marijuana today isn't what it used to be. Higher potency products, vaping devices, and edibles can increase the risk of dependence, anxiety, and impaired judgment. Understanding the risks matters. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides education and local resources to help our community make informed decisions. When we stay informed, we are stronger together and stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Whether you need a quick fix or you got a full-on project, the team at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware has you covered. From electrical and plumbing supplies to Makita power tools, Benjamin Moore paints, lawn and garden gear, and dependable appliances. They carry the brands you trust with service that treats you like family. Serving Franklin County for over 35 years, they're your local hardware experts and proud supporters of Franklin County sports. Located on Sharp Springs Road in Winchester and online at poultryelectric.com.
Shop. Is this Swap and Shop? Is this Swap and Shop? Hi, I'm calling for Swap and Shop. Swap and Shop? Swap and Shop? Swap and Shop? Swap and Shop. Wait, where's Swap and Shop?
That's right, Franklin County. Swap and Shop is back and better than ever. Call in just like you used to, and now you can list your items online at 931go.com. Catch us Monday through Friday starting at 10 a.m. only on ESPN Radio Winchester 1340, 1069.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
Franklin County Mayor Chris Guess shared his vision for the county's future Tuesday morning during remarks at the Franklin County chapter of the Home Builders Association breakfast. According to the mayor's office, Guest spoke about continued growth across the county and emphasized the importance of collaboration between local leaders and the building community. He highlighted the need for smart development, quality housing, and infrastructure planning that supports both current residents and future generations. County officials say maintaining Franklin County's identity while encouraging responsible growth remains a top priority. Meanwhile, Franklin County Schools is celebrating the lasting legacy of Mary Sharp School following a special community event earlier this week. District leaders report a strong turnout as former students, teachers, and community members gathered to reconnect and reflect on the school's history. Historic photographs, yearbooks, and memorabilia were displayed as part of the celebration. For those unable to attend, the exhibit will remain set up at the Franklin County Board of Education office for the rest of the week, and the public is invited to stop by during normal business hours. In public safety news, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office addressed concerns regarding an incident at Deckard Elementary School. During a public service announcement delivered by Public Relations Officer Sergeant Sam Davidson on ESPN Radio Winchester, officials confirmed that school resource officers and investigators immediately began looking into a reported threat of violence Monday afternoon. The department says dozens of man-hours were spent investigating the situation. To reassure parents and staff, the Sheriff's Office has increased security and additional safety measures teachers at the school. Officials also stated they wanted to address the matter proactively to prevent misinformation and reassure the community that student and staff safety remains the top priority. For more updates on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to ESPN Radio Winchester.
There was an outline for today's show, but it didn't survive the opening segment. Back to Joe and Chewy on the starting lineup right here on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy on a Therapy Thursday. Brett Crabtree, I don't know if anybody else is having issues with the live stream this morning. It could be an internet thing. My internet was going a little bit slow earlier, and so it could be on our end.
So did you want to talk about some of the responses to what we were talking about this morning in the chat, or you just want to go ahead and jump out?
We're going to get into that in hour number 2.
Okay.
Clint Powers asked, what about some lights on the square? I think what Clint is getting at, and maybe Clint can clarify this for me, is that at times the lights on the square or the brightness on the square is not the greatest. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if there's any plan to make it a little bit brighter down there or what. And then Lambo said that he has homeless folks who stop by and grab food. He's got a friend, Jimmy, who stops by and visits the trail. I haven't seen him in a while. Last time he saw me looked a little bit rough. Hopefully he's okay. So appreciate you guys all getting into the chat. We are going to turn it right back around because we're at the top of the hour and we went way long with the mayor in studio. But we'll be back here for hour number 2. Stick with us. It is Therapy Thursday on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
And so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
With the latest from around FCHS and Rebel Nation.
The Rebel Report, every weekday, presented by Oaklawn Baptist Church, right here on ESPN Radio, Winchester.
Hello, Franklin County. Welcome back to another edition of the Rebel Report. I'm Lucas.
And I'm Laura. We've got a busy week of Rebel athletics ahead, so let's jump right in.
The Franklin County Rebel baseball team will be back on the diamond Wednesday night as they host Community High School. The first pitch is scheduled for 6 p.m., so come out and support the Rebels as they look to defend their home field.
And that's just the start of a packed schedule for the baseball team this week. The Rebels will be right back at home Thursday night for another matchup, this time taking on Sequatchie County. That game is also set for a 6 p.m. start, giving fans another chance to catch the Rebels in action at home.
After those back-to-back home games, the baseball team won't be slowing down anytime soon. On Friday, the Rebels will hit the road for their third consecutive day of play as they travel to Athens, Alabama. They're scheduled to take on Athens High School with the first pitch set for 6 p.m. It's a busy stretch for the Rebels, and we wish them the best as they take on 3 games in 3 days.
Meanwhile, the Franklin County Rebelettes softball team will also be back in action this week. The Rebelettes will travel to Tullahoma on Friday for a matchup scheduled to start at 5 p.m. The team will be looking to bounce back and continue working hard as the season moves forward.
And it's not just baseball and softball keeping busy. The Franklin County boys soccer team will be heading east this weekend for one of their most exciting events of the season.
That's right. The Rebels soccer team will travel to Gatlinburg to compete in the annual Smoky Mountain Tournament. This tournament always features strong competition and gives the team a great opportunity to test themselves against some talented programs from across the region.
It should be a great weekend of soccer in the Smoky Mountains, and we wish the team safe travels and the best of luck in the tournament.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Rebel Report.
Good luck to all of our Franklin County teams competing this week.
We hope everyone stays healthy, plays hard, and represents Franklin County well.
Thanks for watching.
And as always, go Rebels!
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. It is a therapy Thursday here on the lineup, and we are awaiting our morning call. Chewy, we will recap some of the comments, but I will say Clint did jump in and he said, my kid goes to Deckard Elementary and everything is fine this morning. We have one of the best SRO officers in the state.
Well, maybe the nation. They were literally like some of the first to actually do that. I've said it many times because I remember the transition when SROs came into our school. I was in high school when Sheriff Fuller decided to do that.
Yeah.
And I remember the first wave of it. And, you know, we're very, very lucky.
Yeah.
I think is a good way to say that, that we have such a proactive sheriff's department. And I think the proactive nature alone, I think, and I understand words aren't going to fix people's temperament or their anxieties or anything like this, but I do hope that people know that, like, those people, they don't rest if they think that there's kids who are in danger.
So there are a lot of departments and things like that around the country. They talk about how it's a priority, and it is. Kids' safety and all the things, it is always going to be a priority, right, regardless of what department. But there's also a level of, you know, actions speak louder than words type of thing.
Yeah.
And they do a really good job in that regard.
Speaking of kids, let's jump into Deckard. Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys this morning?
We are wonderful on this Thursday. We are counting down the hours until the weekend, but we are ready to rock and roll today.
All right, well, you know the drill. It's a little gloomy, and it's actually pretty chilly outside. I need some of my spirits lifted. Do you guys think you could give me an awesome pledge this morning?
We do. I have 4 very excited third graders from Miss Smith's class ready to give you the best pledge yet.
All right, let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County. Please join Deckard Elementary as we stand, salute, and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beautiful pledge this morning. Thank you, guys.
Great. All right, I'm sorry, joke this morning.
My name's Wendy, and I have. How do you get a straight eyes?
I don't know.
How do you get straight A's?
Oh, how?
Tell us, use a ruler.
Use a ruler.
Yeah.
That's how Chewy gets them.
That's a cute one. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful day out there, Deckard, okay?
Thank you, guys. You too.
See ya.
Bye.
That was cute. Whoa.
That was me. You use a ruler, Chewy.
That's cute. I like that one.
Come on, you didn't know that?
No.
All right, so it is a Therapy Thursday here on the starting lineup, and in hour number one, I jumped right into, well, the community. I jumped right up the butt of some of the folks who, it's the people, and it's not just our community, right? It's the people in any and every community who they immediately jump to Facebook and they start complaining, or they start panicking, or they start with the local conspiracies, or all of these things. And speaking of Deckard, there was the issue that popped up. There was a note that was found Monday over at the school where there was a threat that was made about Friday, and the sheriff's department and the school and everybody started looking into it. They had parent-teacher conferences on Tuesday, so there was no school. And we had Sammy D in yesterday on the show, which was Wednesday. And so he told us that there were people who literally had not slept since they found the note, and were working around the clock to get to the bottom of these things. And you and I mentioned it just in the last segment. People need to realize and appreciate, and it's not something to take for granted. It's not something that every day you've got to be on high alert, because tomorrow could be the day, today could be the day that something happens within the district, some sort of terrible tragedy. But as far as preparedness, as far as taking it seriously, as far as even the state and the country is concerned, Sammy D mentioned being the tip of the spear, and that is more than just words about student safety being a priority. It's actions that they have taken. The school district has gone about, and the sheriff's department has gone about making sure that they've got processes and things in place to ensure student safety, to the point where, whether it be the response units and how they respond to an issue, whether it be the SROs being one of the first districts I think they were the first district in the state to have an SRO in every school. All of these things, it's not a new thing. And so we had some folks, Chewy, jump into the chat. Brett says there's always a group where there's nothing is ever good enough. Give them $1 million and they'll complain about the denomination of the bills. As far as that group is concerned, and here's the other thing that I do want to say, Chewy, is we live in a county. This is another thing. We live in a county of 45,000 people. Mm-hmm. And what you often have is the same 20, 30, maybe 40 people that get into comment sections around the community, and they talk about the community, and they do these things. Sometimes they're not even from our community. They just want to drop grenades into the middle of our conversations and work people up. But you get the same group of people who talk down about Franklin County or about the community or about certain politicians or whatever. They're looking for an opportunity to be nasty. And they speak based on emotion rather than logic. And unfortunately, those few people, that very small group of people out of the 45,000, tends to be louder than the people who go into the same comment sections or the same, and they just or they look at it and they're like, oh, okay, everything's good over at Deckard. Okay, I trust what the sheriff's department is doing. And the people who don't say anything because they trust the process, they trust the people in charge, they trust the elected officials, whatever the case is, they don't have a reason to say anything necessarily. And so it seems like the minority, the very small minority, who always has a problem with everything, is the majority. They're just louder, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily right.
Right.
Miss Stacy said, people honestly think that the adults at the schools would purposefully let these kids be in danger. I, for one, would put myself between a child and someone trying to hurt them.
And I believe that. I genuinely do. I believe that like everyone who works at that school, all the way from the principal down to the sanitation, they would do everything in their power possible to keep those kids safe.
Right. So yeah, I think that it's unfortunate that there are those people who immediately want to talk about there's got to be some sort of conspiracy. Why don't I know more? You just want to know. In my opinion, you know what that is? You just want to know whose kid it is.
Yeah.
You want to know who's a bad parent, who you're a better parent than. You want to put yourself above somebody.
It's a weird bloodthirst that I think is unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think it's a product of anything that we're doing in the county. I think it's just a product of the internet alone.
Yeah.
And it's sad that, and I feel like maybe a lot of the times people don't know they're doing it. Because they're so entrenched online. You're chronically online like that. You see everyone's acting like that usually, but then you go to like a small town post acting like that, and it's erratic and it's unhelpful and it's harmful in a lot of ways.
All right, so it is a Therapy Thursday, and I would like to encourage folks to jump in on the FMO Facebook feed, get involved in the show this morning, and let us know if there's anything that you need therapy for. We're not relationship experts, but we can give you advice on them. Certainly. It might be bad advice, but it'll be advice nonetheless. We didn't say it was like good advice. We never claimed that it would be worth using. It would just be advice. Chewy, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't get a chance to get into yesterday that I wanted to.
Okay.
And so the first thing, there is a team in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League. Talk about a team that needs therapy. Now, first off, you're in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League, meaning you're up in Canada. I'd need therapy just for living up in Canada, first and foremost. But this is a team made up of
this is rude.
16 to 20-year-old players. And they're working to develop before going to college or hopefully higher levels.
Okay.
Chewy, the Sarnia Legionnaires, they played their season. They went 0-50.
Are you kidding?
They played 50 games.
And they lost all of them.
They had 0 wins, 0 overtime losses. They just straight up literally lost all 50 games.
Good Lord.
Now, their goal differential, they had 83 goals for, 341 goals against.
Oh, boy. You know how they say, like, losing builds character? Those guys have got to be the most built character I've ever heard of.
They were
wow.
They were negative 258 goals. That was their goal differential, negative 258. That means that they lost games. They lost their average game by an average of about 5 goals a game.
Oh, my gosh.
The average score was like 6-1. So what's interesting about this, too, is that their starting goalie, and his name was Andrew Galton, he actually had an 88% save percentage. He faced 1,403 shots in 32 games. This poor guy was facing 44 shots a game.
Good God.
And if anybody knows hockey, about 30 shots a game. 30 is getting up there.
That's excessive.
30 is about 10 a period, and that's getting up there. 44 is a lot. Just a lot. The leading scorer on the team only had 24 points in 50 games. Top junior players usually have like 80 to 100 points. And this poor team had one guy who had 24 points in 50 games. Now, the Browns and the Lions both went 0-16. But even those teams still had close games, competitive weeks. It was up for debate. There were a couple games where they were in it, right? But to go 0-50, I mean, again, We talked about this one time with the White Sox when they had their historically bad year. But to put that in perspective, you and I had as many wins this year as the Legionnaires did in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League. You and I won as many games as they did this season.
Man. Well, I hope they're all right emotionally. I mean, I don't know what I just don't even know how hockey works. Does that sort of like torpedo their future goals?
Not necessarily. I think it does. I think it does result in a lot of self-reflection,
Sure.
a lot of mirror time.
Yeah.
But imagine going to practice every day for like 6 months, knowing that the absolute best possible outcome is still being absolutely terrible.
25 games in. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've lost 25 out of your 50. So that's half your games you've already lost. You know what I mean?
Well,
at that point, what's like logically, like logistics, like how is that even percentage-wise? What's the math on that?
0.
Exactly. Like, how does that even
0.
happen?
I would imagine the journey of that process goes along the lines of the season starts, you get beat in the first couple of games, and as a coach and as a team, you're like, oh, man, that was rough. But, we're just working out the kinks. We just need to get some chemistry going. We just need to, fall into a rhythm. And then about 10 or 15 games in, you're like, wow, we're really bad. This is starting to get brutal. We're really bad. But we'll break through. Once we break through and get our first win, it's about
like a snowball going down a
hill.
hill.
Well, and it's about the small wins, right?
Right.
We build up some confidence, and then, we'll get back to, like, maybe the second half of the season, we can be 500. You get to, like, 25 or 30 losses in a row. And then the question is...
Then the coach is leaving.
Well, the question becomes, are we ever going to win a game? I don't think we're ever going to win a game. And once that sets in, there's no real coming back from that.
Sure.
And then it just becomes like, let's see how few goals we can lose by today. Let's just try and play it close, guys. Let's just give it our best effort. Let's go out there and have fun.
Let's go out and have fun. Yeah, that's what it turns into, yeah.
And
have a good time.
I've coached a winless. So I coached like a coach pitch little league team one year, and we went winless. And it was my son's team. And it was one of those situations where the league did not have enough coaches, right? And so the teams had already basically been picked, and there was a team that did not have a coach. And it just so happened to be my son's team. And so I said, fine, I'll coach the team. I had no idea what kind of kids were on the team. I just knew that my kid was on the team, and it was his first year. Who was not very, and I knew my kid was not very good. So my expectations were not high.
Just keeping it real, Joey.
Yeah. So I decided that I was going to coach this team. And the first game of the season, we got absolutely smoked. It was like 13-3 or something. And we played the team that ended up being the best team in the league. They ended up going on and winning every one of their games. Well, the last game of the season, we played the same team, and we got beat like 7-5 or something like that. And so we improved.
Yeah.
Over the course of the season, every game we got better, and that's all you
could
can
give
really
him a
hope for.
black guy, you know.
Well, yeah.
On the way out.
They at one point in time we were winning like 5-3,
and you were like, yeah.
And I was like, this is, they made the movie the Miracle about the Miracle on Ice, or Miracle about the Miracle on Ice. I was thinking they're going to have to make a movie about this crew, right?
Yeah.
It didn't turn out that I pitched a script. They didn't go for it. But
they asked you, well, did you win the game? Well, no, but
technically no. But Rocky technically didn't win the fight either. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that towards the end of the season, they're probably just hoping to keep it close and have fun, right?
Sort of turns into the Cubs a little bit, where you're just sort of there to still support these guys working hard,
Yeah. Well,
you're a Browns fan, so you know.
I know. But it could be worse, though, right?
Could it?
I mean, they could be Team USA and lose to Italy in the World Baseball Classic.
You want to get into that, yeah.
Yeah, when we come back, we're going to get into that.
Okay.
It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester, or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Hey neighbors, this is Johnny Hand from the Afternoon Handoff on ESPN Radio Winchester. And I just want to say thank you. It's only been a couple of months since we debuted my show, and you have been so supportive and so gracious to tune in every single weekday from 2 to 4, whether you're in the car, at work, at home, or streaming us wherever you may be. And a special thank you, of course, to the incredible guests who join me on the show. Those are huge reasons that this program is as fun and as engaging as it is. To our listeners and to our guests alike, thank you for helping make the Afternoon Handoff something special. And keep listening. ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT, Winchester.
From the 931 GO Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
Waking up to some very cool temperatures this morning in the high 40s and early 50s, and it's going to stay that way and stay cloudy, but gradually clearing up in the afternoon with a high of only 54 degrees. Got some northwest winds coming in from 5 to 10 miles per hour with some gusts as high as 30. Grab your jacket and stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
Looking for more than just prescriptions? Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester has it all. Grab a bite from our menu, browse our boutique for one-of-a-kind finds, and sip on a Bloody Marty that's worth talking about, all in one stop. Located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, Bennett's Pharmacy is your unexpected destination for great food, fun shopping, and so much more. Call us at 931-967-2777 or come see what everyone's raving about.
We apologize if this is your first time, but yes, unfortunately, this is normal. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, it is ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Doug Garrett asking if he's late. No, you're not, Doug.
Doug, we had the show on hold. We've been waiting for you to get in all morning.
Well, you were about to get into something kind of embarrassing.
Oh, my gosh. Chris Lambert says, losing builds losers. Just kidding, kind of. LOL. Doesn't build character, it builds loser.
Builds.
Oh, man.
You know, today's everybody's just no sugarcoating this morning. Everyone's staying real. I appreciate that, you know. But,
Honesty Thursday.
Honesty Thursday is what it needs to be. Jeez.
Speaking of being honest, the U.S. lost to Italy the other night, Chewy, and I was not quite sure how to feel about that.
Yeah.
I got the Italian hair. I got like olive oil running through my veins.
You're a little conflicted.
So I do have, I guess it would be beef from Wednesday, leftover beef from yesterday.
Some leftovers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which also turned into now I need therapy because I don't know which way I need to go. But normally I would react to this in a situation where I would be absolutely furious. It would be like, I don't know, if we were Canada and we lost to some other team in hockey.
Yeah, that'd be. Could you imagine that?
Absolutely outrageous.
Which is objectively way worse, I'm just saying, than anything possible that we could ever be embarrassed by.
But because I'm Italian, I wasn't really sure how to react. Now, I'm not like from Italy. I don't know how to speak Italian. In fact, Crosby is doing Duolingo.
I've seen it. Yeah, he's been informing me.
He knows more Italian than I do. For whatever reason, I think that it's a power move.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's trying to learn Italian so that he can lord it over me, that he is more Italian than I am. So this game is going on, and I'm like, no, we can stop scoring now. No, stop. I mean, it got to 8-0, and halfway through, I'm starting to go the other way. I'm actually like, this Italian team's pretty good. This is pretty cool. Now the United States ends up surviving pool play on a technicality, not anything that we did, but because Italy beat Mexico, they'll move on to the next round.
Interesting.
But what was really irritating about the whole thing was I read afterwards that the United States manager at one point in time, he said that he misspoke, Chewy.
Mm-hmm.
But he stated something that gave the impression that he believed that they had already clinched moving on to the next round before they played Italy even.
Oh.
Like they were kind of already locked in
Right.
to the next round. So he wasn't really taking the game seriously.
Yeah, well, see where that got you.
Well, whether or not he was just lying to cover up the fact that he, had no idea or that he misspoke, I find it really interesting. And I know it's the World Baseball Classic. It's not like it's the Olympics. It's not like it's this, but it's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to not take it seriously enough, to not even technically really know the details, just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it kind of got me hoping that we do get bounced. Because sometimes you need the dream team or you need these. Like, can we stop kind of half-assing things? And I go back to the Winter Olympics. It doesn't matter if there's a team that's entire country is covered in snow and that's all they do. I don't care if you're like Norway or whoever. We're America. And I think that we need to put like Chris Lambert in charge of our Olympic teams or our World Baseball, like our world teams. We need to put Lambeau in charge because he's going to get up their butts.
Tell him losing is not an option.
Yeah, he's going to get in front of them. He's going to, first day of like WC or WBC practice or Olympic practice, and he's going to say, you know what losing does? Creates a bunch of losers.
Golly.
And we're not losing. This is America. We're the best. He's like the Donald Trump of sports motivation.
Okay.
You're either first or you're last.
Yeah.
I think we need to put him in charge of our national teams. I'm just saying.
How did we fare? Is the Winter Olympics still going on or is it over?
No, the Winter Olympics is over.
So how did we fare? Do you remember?
We ended up in like second for total
Okay. That's not
medal
bad.
count.
Yeah.
It is bad. We're the best.
Oh, sorry.
And
yeah,
if we don't,
that's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
yeah, we're just the first loser.
Okay.
Come on, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't do sports.
Yay, sports.
Yeah, sure, dude. There is a shirt that I found that literally just says the word sports in like that college font, and I was like, "That's my shirt." You know?
How does a team full of like Major League Baseball all-stars? These aren't just a bunch of scrubs. Like this is Aaron Judge, the Big Dumper. I mean,
the Big Dumper was in the Italian.
No, he's on the American.
He's
team.
not, or that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
he went to Italy to do that.
Well, they didn't go to Italy. They're playing down in like Houston.
Oh, okay. So Italy came to us. Oh, that's kind of worse.
Yeah, and when we played Mexico, it was like a Mexican home game.
So we went. Wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, like we're not taking this stuff seriously.
That is shocking.
Like if this was Little League, we almost got run ruled by Italy.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I guess. Hey, you know what? I'll say this though. You sort of alluded to this beforehand, but losing like this can give you a certain kind of fire that you wouldn't have had otherwise, though, right? So, I mean, coming up next, do you think they'll let that happen again?
Well, I hope that they take the rest of it the way seriously.
Sure.
And they just dominate the rest of the way. But it's not a good sign, right? Now, my question for listeners though is, I'm an Italian American.
Brett says he's nauseous, by the way.
I'm an Italian American, and for me growing up, our Italian heritage, even though my father can't speak Italian, my grandparents aren't from Italy, and technically we're like Sicilian, but they came over from Italy like around the turn of the century, maybe late 1800s or something like that. But for whatever reason, I was raised to be very like in touch with my Italian heritage.
Really? Like having like, the food and the culture and
yeah, outside of just the pasta, like it was important.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like Godfather, the Godfather movies and things like that, like it meant something to us growing up. Now, my question is for people of other heritages, heritage. If you're from another heritage, if you have a different heritage than Italian, are you proud of that? Is there, and I know that there are certain, like, Mexican Americans are very proud of their Mexican heritage. And some of them are, and some of them aren't. Like, I don't know any Germans who go around.
Well, okay.
Because I'm half German, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some reasons why.
And all the Germans that I know, they don't go around being like, oh, yeah, we've got some great heritage.
But, like, yeah. But I mean, like, there's still like Oktoberfest and the pretzels and the special little, like small town German holidays that still get, tossed around like that.
Good point.
But I do understand. You're saying the intensity of which the importance of your heritage was like a little like, were you just saying that it was more than you expected or more that you see?
It's more than I see from other groups.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's because The Godfather made it a lot cooler. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, being Italian, it was not a good thing to be Italian.
Yeah,
back in the
like
day.
I remember. Yeah, there was a lot of like, isn't that the reason why Little Italy was a thing?
Yeah,
because they were segregated.
And they're not the only one. I'm not playing victim or anything.
That's
like that.
why like the Irish mob exists and stuff like that. Yeah. But it is interesting. Like I do know what you're saying.
Speaking of the Irish, so we got St. Patrick's Day coming up.
Yeah,
right. How come St. Patrick? How come the Irish get a day? I'm Italian. I want a day. Can I get like a spicy meatball day? Can I get a spaghetti day? An olive oil day. Give me something.
Oh man. Well, for yours it'd be extra virgin, but that's just you. But that was a rude joke. But in all seriousness, I am curious. I agree with you because Mom always talked about like, oh, you're Italian and you're this and you're that, and my mom's sisters went on this whole genealogy thing, but like we don't personally celebrate any special like Irish holiday,
right?
Or Scottish tradition or anything like that. So, but it's fascinating. I think it just depends, but I think it's just because The Godfather made it cool to be Sicilian.
Yeah, it is cool.
It is cool. I agree. I'm totally jealous, but
good. You should be. So the other funny observation that I have about the World Baseball Classic is that half of the teams are made up of like the World Baseball Classic is missing out, and so is Ancestry.com, because Ancestry.com should be the title sponsor of the World Baseball Classic. And what I mean by that is, Chewy, all of the guys playing for these countries never actually lived in these countries.
Really?
Right. It's because their great-grandmother once made like a ravioli that they're on Team Italy.
I see what you're saying.
It would be, if I was in Major League Baseball, it would be like me playing on the Italian team.
It's like technically yes.
I'm not from Italy. I didn't play baseball in Italy. I didn't grow up in Italy. I don't know how to speak a word of Italian.
You're not culturally Italian.
Right.
Right.
But because I hail from the boot, if I so choose, I could play on the American team or the Italian team.
Well, I'm saying, hey, maybe that was a good idea this time. I'm just saying.
I just wonder if other folks are pulling for, and I'm not saying that I'm pulling for Italy over the United States, but Italy is easily my number 2.
Sure.
Do other groups have kind of a similar connection to their heritage?
Like if your grandmother was from Argentina, are you going to pull for the Argentina team or something? Yeah. Like, I get what you're saying. But I don't personally.
The comment from Brett. Brett. Oh, gosh. Anyway. Thankfully, we did not get bounced out.
Really? So we're still in the
We're
thing?
still in it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then I guess it's not too bad.
It's not the end of the world. Yes, I mentioned that a little bit earlier. So in case you have not heard, I encourage you to tune in from noon to 2 today. So normally the afternoon handoff, Chewy, is from 2 to 4 p.m.
Right.
Today, it is from noon to 2, and that is because Tennessee, the Vols, are going to be playing right at about 2 o'clock.
That's right.
They're playing
right.
Auburn in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah,
Hey,
'cause he
Johnny,
knew.
you don't have to call me out like I don't know.
He knew. I texted him earlier.
No, well, the only reason I knew is because I needed to update the scroll at the bottom.
Before we hit the break, Chewy, college football, the moving of teams and the divisions and the leagues and all the things has brought us to a point where the MAC now includes Ball State and Sacramento State. I almost touched on this.
You almost
phrasing,
touched it? Yeah.
phrasing. Almost touched on this yesterday. I mentioned it. But
Please tell me this is exactly what I think it is. You know?
Chewy, this means that we are on the verge of witnessing what could be defined as the Great Ball Sack Bowl. Ball State and Sacramento State.
I'm not joking when I say this is the most excited I've ever been for a sporting event in my life. Oh, my gosh, that's beautiful.
Speaking of sponsors, I mean, we need to get Preparation H on this thing. We need to get Gold Bond. We need to
Cialis.
get Dude Wipes. We need to get Cialis. Hanes. Like, they've got those new boxers
Exactly, yeah.
with the cradle.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, this is so genius. Oh, man. So is there a reason that this hasn't happened before, or has it and it just hadn't been publicized?
Well, I don't know if these two teams have ever played before. And there are some pretty ridiculous bowl games, like actual bowl games, the Pop-Tart Bowl, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the Idaho Potato Bowl. But this would be a regular season conference matchup between Ball State and Sacramento State. And I think so. Some of these rivalries, they play for a certain trophy, right?
Dude.
What would the trophy for the Ball Sack Bowl be? Consider that. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Hey folks, I'm Johnny Hand from WCDT, the home for Franklin County Athletics. From Friday night football to every big game in between, we're proud to bring you all the action that keeps our community cheering. Want to be part of that excitement? We'd love to talk with you about advertising and other great opportunities to support our local athletes. So give us a call today at 931-967-2201 or stop by the station at 1201 South College Street right here in Winchester. WCDT Winchester. We are Franklin County.
Stay connected to Franklin County wherever you go with the WCDT Radio smartphone app. Presented by High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas. With just a tap, you can listen live to ESPN Radio or the all-new Tim's Ford Country. Streaming your favorite sports and outlaw country hits right to your phone. And it's CarPlay enabled so you can take us on the road wherever you go. Download it today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Just search WCDT Radio or visit WCDTradio.com.
Why choose Moore Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. Moore Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. Moore Courtney Funeral Home.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 GO News Center.
Franklin County Mayor Chris Guess shared his vision for the county's future Tuesday morning during remarks at the Franklin County chapter of the Home Builders Association breakfast. According to the mayor's office, guests spoke about continued growth across the county and emphasized the importance of collaboration between local leaders and the building community. He highlighted the need for smart development, quality housing, and infrastructure planning that supports both current residents and future generations. County officials say maintaining Franklin County's identity while encouraging responsible growth remains a top priority. Meanwhile, Franklin County Schools is celebrating the lasting legacy of Mary Sharp School following a special community event earlier this week. District leaders report a strong turnout as former students, teachers, and community members gathered to reconnect and reflect on the school's history. Historic photographs, yearbooks, and memorabilia were displayed as part of the celebration. For those unable to attend, the exhibit will remain set up at the Franklin County Board of Education office for the rest of the week, and the public is invited to stop by during normal business hours. In public safety news, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office addressed concerns regarding an incident at Deckard Elementary School. During a public service announcement delivered by Public Relations Officer Sergeant Sam Davidson on ESPN Radio Winchester, officials confirmed that school resource officers and investigators immediately began looking into a reported threat of violence Monday afternoon. The department says dozens of man-hours were spent investigating the situation. To reassure parents and staff, the Sheriff's Office has increased security and additional safety measures at the school. Officials also stated they wanted to address the matter proactively to prevent misinformation and reassure the community that student and staff safety remains the top priority. For more updates on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
Tune into the Afternoon Handoff with Johnny Hand, weekday afternoons from 2 to 4, right here on ESPN Radio Winchester. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. So, Chewy, you came up with a great idea. You know, as far as, like, testicular cancer awareness, those groups, it'd be a great sponsor.
I think that would just be, like, the most perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get with Dude Wipes or something like you said earlier, something that's, you know, mildly relatable.
Yeah.
Manscaped would be great for this, you know? But Brett did say something interesting that I did not think about, and he says they'll have to come up with a trophy. Just imagine the winner getting their hands on the ball sack trophy.
Jeez,
that really will be the most valuable trophy in the sports world. I guarantee you. We still need to make our sports museum. We never did that.
Yes.
Like if we ever win the lottery, that needs to be our side project.
We just need to create the Hall of Shame, and then we can start, like, identifying who's our initial class.
Yeah.
Like, this is our initial class of Hall of Shamers. I like that. Then we can do an annual induction ceremony.
Dishonorable induction ceremony.
We're taking nominations now for the Hall of Shame. Now, should we limit it to just athletes, or should it be... I think it has to, right? You have to have a category. It can't be wide open.
No, I think it should be athletes. Just sports in general.
I would like to go ahead and nominate O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson's a good one.
Put him on the list.
Yeah.
Do we put Aaron Hernandez? Does he make the list yet? I think he'll get in someday, but I don't think he's on the initial list.
Lance Armstrong?
Ooh, Lance Armstrong's a good one.
Yeah.
I think the more famous you are Pete Rose.
So here's my question though: what does the dishonorable mean? Does it mean are we talking about just like instances in which unfair advantages and cheating, or
no,
or is it just embarrassing moments?
I think it It is disgraced.
Disgraced. Okay. So like Michael Phelps getting kicked off a Wheaties box for smoking weed. You're
Yeah, that one doesn't
really count.
No.
Okay.
No. Speaking of disgraced, I'm gonna read a list for you. Okay. Matt Sims, Michael Vick, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Bryce Petty, Josh McCown, Sam Darnold, Trevor Siemian, Luke Falk, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Mike White, Josh Johnson, Chris Streveler, Aaron Rodgers, Tim Boyle, Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, Brady Cook. Those are all of the quarterbacks. Oh, wait. I missed one. Christian Hackenberg. Those are all of the quarterbacks between when the Jets drafted Geno Smith back in like 2013 to now when the Jets have reacquired Geno Smith. They drafted Geno Smith, Chewy, in 2013, and in 2015 they decided he was like terrible. And in fact, I got to see him play up here against the Titans, and he's I've always thought he was bad. Now, he bounced around the league for a little bit and then finally settled in up in Seattle, had a little bit of a revival for about 10 minutes, and then the Raiders decided that they would reconnect him with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll used to be the head coach of the Seahawks. They brought him over to the Raiders. They bring in Geno Smith. They're going to have this revival, this renewed relationship. Pete Carroll lasted one season with the Raiders before they fired him. He needed to stay retired. And Geno was brought in absolutely awful. The positive thing is he put them in a situation where now the Raiders are going to draft Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But this is like breaking up with someone, okay? And then watching them date some other people and you going on a bunch of dates with a bunch of really bad outcomes and then turning back around and texting them at like 2 a.m.
You up?
Exactly. So my question to you, Chewy, is do you have something? I'm not going to ask you someone. Do you have something that you swore that you'd never go back to, but you did?
ESPN Radio Winchester.
Jerk. Each and every day he walks out of here. Never going back there again.
No. That's a tough one.
What about a gas station? So I've got the immediate thought that came to my mind was there is a gas station, not in town, but near town.
Okay.
And every time I go to that gas station, or used to go to that gas station, because I have not been there in now about 4 years, it was the closest gas station to where I lived.
And I know what you're talking about.
Every morning I would be running late, and every morning that I'd be running late, I'd need to stop and get gas, and I had to go right by this gas station, and it was easy. Pop in, just put like $5 in, run on to work. Every single time, and it would be a different pump. It's not like it was the same pump every morning. Every time I'd pull into that place, the credit card machine thing would not be working. And it got to the point where, and then one day they just all were not working. I got burned by that place so many times, and I kept trying to force it. And then one time I was like, you know what? I'm not going here again. I waited about 6 months. Sure enough, I thought I was going to run out of gas. I'm going by that place. I'm like, oh, I forgot to get gas in town. I better pop over here. I'll just grab some from here. It'll be fine. I'm sure. It's been 6 months. I'm sure they've worked through their issues by now. And sure enough, I pull in. It's not working. And that was the last time. And that was about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've literally never been back to that place.
Yeah, I get you. Mine is Piggly Wiggly. I just won't do it.
Yeah.
I'm morally opposed to Piggly Wiggly.
Opposed to the pig.
I am. Every time I had ever gotten anything from that store, it had a weird smell, and it tasted funny, and there's just something about it that I just don't. Its vibes are off, Joey Ram, and I won't do it. So that's mine. Mine's Piggly Wiggly. For a while, I was on I was like on a Walmart abstinence. I didn't go for like a year.
Walmart Avoidance Initiative.
It really,
by Chewy.
I don't remember what set me off, but
Yeah.
I was just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And I just never went back and it was over. It took like a year and a half before I ever walked back into that store. And then I didn't realize what I had done until I'd already done it. I was like, oh crap, but you know.
Broke the seal on your Walmart there, huh?
Yeah. I am curious if other people have similar stories.
It's interesting because I remember that year that you avoided Walmart. The Walmart demographics came out, and they rose during that year that you didn't.
Yeah, all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people started showing up to Walmart when I was gone.
Like normal people. Like the whole crowd. When you stopped going there, the whole crowd stopped going there along with you.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It frustrated me when Walmart went away from the 24/7 system. They used to be open 24/7, and now they close at night. And that, I think, was a COVID thing. But the whole point of Walmart, I would only go to Walmart. Like late.
Yeah, like
because,
at 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
or something.
because I wanted to.
You want to avoid all the people.
Yeah,
yeah. So Doug just jumped in, and he says, "Well, when I was a kid, I didn't get therapy needed. When I was a kid, just give me a second, guys. I'm here this morning.
When Chewy was a kid, he didn't learn how to read.
Yeah. Well, all right. It says, well, I was late and I didn't get all the therapy I needed on Therapy Thursday. Whole weekend will just be blah now. Not to worry, Doug. If you ever need anything, you can always privately message us for some consultation.
Doug, if you need therapy from Chewy, you got bigger problems, but B,
if you're coming to me,
you might want to see a real therapist. Oh gosh!
If that's how you know you need help. If you think of me when you're in distress, you're like, man, if Chewy could really help me out here, it's like, man, you were so lost. You know?
Yeah. Brett Crabtree said Cam Newton. I don't know if Cam Newton played for the Jets. Did Cam Newton play for the Jets?
Well, he may have also been talking about a nomination for.
Oh, somebody you left and came back.
Left in disgrace. No, the Hall of Shame.
Oh. Yeah.
Just for those outfits, dude.
I don't know if Cam Newton applies. He did get, but I don't know.
Goofiest fit.
Yeah. There are quarterbacks that have come into the league that I wish that we had gotten a longer look at. Cam Newton, Tim Tebow, those are some of those guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did Cam stop playing? Did he get hurt and then just turn into a podcaster and
No, he all of a sudden just started sucking.
Oh, so he just quit.
Doug Garrett says Chewy is our mental support animal. Oh, that is.
That's the biggest compliment I've ever gotten, Doug. I appreciate that.
That's why I keep him around.
I appreciate you, Doug. That was really nice.
He was my mental support animal on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We need to rent you out like an inflatable.
What the heck?
Rent a Chewy.
Yeah. You know what? If anybody needs to hang out, just let me know. But yeah.
But there is something that I wanted to also talk about this morning. And, after years of research and development, yesterday, Chewy and I discovered a new form of communication. And in a back room, I was digging through some equipment, and I found a pair of walkie-talkies.
And they're pretty sick.
Yeah. And immediately, all I could think about is how I just so badly growing up, and I didn't have an older brother, but I really just wanted somebody to walkie-talkie with, right? And I didn't have anybody that lived close enough, or at least I didn't take advantage of it back in the day, where you could walkie-talkie with a friend. And I found these walkie-talkies. And now, too, I keep seeing these ads on my Facebook page for these walkie-talkies that can apparently go across the country.
Oh, yeah. I remember you
It's
showing me
crazy.
these. They were a little pricey, but, like, it was worth it. Like, it's like it doesn't require, like, a cell plan or anything.
Yeah. But I wonder if they'll reach from my house to your house, because we live just right up the road from each other.
There's only one
Just
way
be
to
like,
find out, my guy.
Shh. Chewy, do you copy?
Eagles in the nest. Over.
Shh, over. I don't know.
I also never had a walkie-talkie buddy. I had one friend who had a pair of walkie-talkies, but they went about 30 feet before they lost signal.
Yeah.
So we went and go try and play in the woods to pretend that we were on Endor, and we would be like, stormtrooper sighted, and he's like, I can't hear you.
Right.
You know?
Well, here's the problem, too, is if I can hear your voice over the walkie-talkie.
Exactly.
It's not a walkie-talkie. That's a disappointment.
Exactly. It's like, what are we even doing? Let's just whisper.
Okay. What this brought me to, though, yesterday, Chewy, is I was thinking about the walkie-talkies after work. I mean, I was thinking on them last night. What it brought me to is the Hoagie Rollers needs a CB radio club.
Oh, dude, that would be sick.
How cool would it be if we brought back the CB radio to Winchester?
That would be kind of a cool thing.
And only invited the cool kids.
Sure, I like it.
The next question I have is, can you put a CB radio on a moped?
I bet you could. Yeah, you could do that for sure. I mean, it wouldn't look pretty, but you could do it.
Or do I just need to install a CB radio in the Suburban?
That would be hilarious if you had. Dad had one.
I want one
can
so
do that.
bad. I think that would be so cool to be able to just like
Breaker 1-9.
What would Landon Relford's like?
What would his code name be?
Gator, can you reach me? Gator, you got me? Come back.
Alpha Gator.
Over.
Over.
Beanie Bandit. You there? Over.
Swole Troll, you there? Oh dear.
Radio lady, can you copy?
Over. Yeah, if you don't say over, by the way, we don't recognize.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh dear.
I just really want CB radios now.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe that's how we coordinate our rides whenever we get our mopeds.
Yeah, I like it.
Doug, would you sell me a moped? Just out of curiosity.
Doug will sell you anything.
He's salesman of the month over there.
He is,
Yeah,
like
every month.
25 months in a row or something.
Yeah. If you ever come across a moped, Doug, you know who to call.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for the show.
Yeah.
The music kind of played there, and then it poofed away. If anybody knows where I can get a CB radio, let me know. It is the starting lineup. Remember, today from noon to 2, it is the afternoon handoff. You'll want to tune in for that. Coming up on the other side, it is Reliable Rentals, Swap, and Shop with Chewy. And if you've got a CB radio that you want to sell on Swap and Shop, let us know. I'd be interested.
931-967-3500.
This is ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Opioid addiction doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone. Addiction is not a moral failure. It's a health condition, and recovery is possible. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition is working to reduce stigma and connect individuals to treatment, recovery support, and overdose prevention resources. We are stronger together. And when recovery begins, lives become stronger with